Starting, all attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the Alertus webinar series. My name is Jamie Underwood, Director of Marketing Communications at Alertus Technologies. Today's session will provide an Alertus Emergency Mass Notification System overview, including an overview of one of our flagship products, the Alert Beacon. We ask that you please hold all questions to the end of the webinar. However, feel free to type any questions in the chat box during the presentation, and we'll be sure to come back to those during the Q&A at the end of the session. This webinar is being recorded, so please email marketing@alertus.com if you're interested in receiving a recording of today's webinar. I would now like to turn it over to today's webinar presenter, Alertus's National Sales Director, Ryan Oakley.
Thank you very much, Jamie, and thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate joining the series here to understand and learn about our different products and how they work and can benefit your organization. As Jamie mentioned, we're going to focus on the Alert Beacon. It's a flagship product of the Alertus system that also allows you to cost-effectively retrofit your facilities for mass notification using your existing assets, networks, those kind of things. We'll go into a little bit of detail there. We'll go ahead and start with just a brief background on Alertus, some of the notification challenges that our customers face that we can help you solve, codes and market demand that are really driving the Alertus solution and need for solutions like ours. And then also we'll focus in on the Alert Beacon and finally finish up with a demo. We're going to go a little bit more, for those that have joined these sessions in the past, we're going to go into a little bit more detail of the user interface so you can see exactly how you can target and control the Alert Beacon to notify individuals in your organizations the correct way for the correct message. So quick background on Alertus is that we're a pioneer in integrated audio-visual facility alerting for all hazards. We were founded in 2002, and this was after a series event at the University of Maryland. There was a tornado that went through the University of Maryland in 2001 that killed students without warning. From there, the founders were on campus and was really focused on trying to solve that challenge. They since solved that challenge with the Alert Beacon, which was the first product. And from there, we've really grown that solution out of a lot of multimedia notification channels and capabilities, and have been deployed on hundreds of college campuses, military bases, large facilities, including the U.S. Capitol. And we're headquartered in the D.C. area, so we follow very closely the FEMA, the developments and standards that are coming out of the U.S. government, so we can adhere to all the standards for emergency alerting. So to jump into it, how do you, as an organization, issue an emergency notification? You'll see a bunch of pieces of the puzzles, and you might have cable TV feeds, email, desktop, website, PA systems, those kind of things. You've got a lot of assets that are effective in getting that message out, but how do you activate those all consistently and effectively across the enterprise with a message, and then how do you continue to activate those for updates and all clears? The Alertus notification system allows you to integrate with all these systems, including third-party services for text and email, digital signage system if you've got multi-user or multi-vendor digital signage systems, any outdoor voice systems, indoor voice PA systems. A few of the things we covered in the past sessions were desktops, fire panel integrations, those kind of things. So you've got a lot of these assets, and generally to activate those, you've got to get in touch with a number of people that own those different systems. And we found that most of our customers find that it takes 20 to 30 minutes to coordinate that emergency notification across the enterprise to be able to get all those lined up and get that message out. When seconds count, an emergency like active shooter or a tornado, that's just not acceptable speed to get that message out. So the Alertus system is able to coordinate all those things, and you'll see some of those across the bottom there, all the way through to the website, voice systems, all the way through to social media as well. Some of the other challenges that a lot of our customers face, and you may see a few that you're faced with here as well, is location with no way to notify, where you don't have a voice system. There isn't really a good way to get in touch with people. Those kind of things. That's actually a very good application for our Alert Beacon, which we'll touch on in a little bit. Building's not staffed 24/7. If you don't have somebody to get the message out, to make that announcement, make sure that that every building is covered, then we can help to unify that and make sure to activate those assets you have in those buildings remotely from a central either management point or from any of our web interfaces, mobile, those kind of things. Next is special needs individuals. This is more along your 508 compliance, ADA accessibility. Also, as we touch on codes, that's a big part of the codes, making sure that a message is delivered in different ways so that differently abled individuals can receive that message. Loud environments is another big one for corporate industrial. Some of our colleges that have trades also deal with this with some of their classrooms, where very loud environments where a speaker system, even if it was present, wouldn't overcome the ambient noise, where you need visual notification like something like the alert beacon, our LED marquee, those kind of things. Next, cell phones not allowed. There's a lot of different organizations and locations that you can't take cell phones, whether it's top secret facilities in the government and military bases, certain parts of healthcare institutions, or even on universities and labs where there's sensitive equipment. There's definitely areas a lot of times that you can't take the cell phone or you don't have service. How do you get the message to somebody if you're chiefly dependent on one mode of, say, sending a text message? The Alertus system helps our customers overcome that. And then finally, difficult in reaching visitors and contractors. You've probably got a facility where at any one time people could come in and out of the facility. You're not able to keep accurate track of that. And furthermore, it's hard to keep track of that for notifications. So we're able to help you to send a message to your facility so that it reaches all those individuals within the building. So you don't have to have an accurate track of that. You just have to be able to deliver that message effectively. So these are some of the challenges we solve, in addition to unifying all these assets and bringing together a quick, easy activation. So a quick review of codes and market demand. There's two code sets out there that are major drivers, and that's NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. This governs a lot of the fire alarming, and also has added a Chapter 4 mass notification as that's become more of a priority. And also for the U.S. government, within the DoD, the UFC is a similar set of rules. Most of what we'll deal with outside the U.S. government is NFPA. And furthermore, I think you'll agree that these codes are coming together to put order and put some recommendations on how to implement your mass notification system. But you're probably finding that the leadership within your organizations, your customers, students, whoever you're accountable to, are really expecting a certain level of safety when visiting a location or on the job. So, with all these things that have been occurring, the demand has really been put forward that's been driving this, whether it's, critical, celebrities that are coming to a campus, in the case of one of the sports broadcasting companies we work with, to the colleges and universities where usually generally the first question parents ask is, what kind of things are in place on campus to keep my students safe? Tell me why I should be sending my student here. So really those kind of things are driving organizations to implement it on their own, and the codes are really providing some guidance on how to implement those things. To wrap up the Alertus solution and really the value proposition of what we can help you with is we can provide a single point of activation to bring all these different assets that you have that are disparate together to activate. That point of activation can either be a web interface, it can be a mobile, it can be automated weather alerts coming from a weather service. You name it, there's many different ways to activate the Alertus system, but provides you that unified activation interface. We're able to integrate with all notification assets, so things like your VoIP phones, your desktops, your digital signage, even if they're different manufacturers, different services, those kind of things, we can bring all those together and activate them as part of a single activation. And finally, we're able to fill in the gaps with innovative alerting endpoints. That's really going to be the focus of the remainder of the webinar, is our alert beacon, and that's one of our innovative notification devices. It's really unique to Alertus and provides a very cost-effective means for retrofitting your facilities. So it gives you just kind of a high level of Alertus. And then I'd mentioned, and I'm sure those that have seen our previous webinars have seen this diagram. This provides the full solution of notification, everything from the alert beacon, LED marquees, digital signage, desktop, cable TV, all the way through to our voice-based capabilities where we will interface with text-to-speech speakers, PA systems, giant voice outdoor high-powered speakers, fire alarms, those kind of things, to be able to convert that text to speech. You'll hear that during the demo as well, which gives you the ability to integrate some of these assets that you would have normally had to have somebody go and talk over the microphone. There's the human aspect of things. We take that out of it, can activate it remotely from anywhere, and provide a clear, consistent message. And then finally, also the Alertus VoIP phone capability to be able to take over screens and display a message on VoIP phones, another network-based asset. So as I mentioned, you've got many different ways to get the message in. API, which could be downstream from some of your text and email services that you might be using today, other incident management software, those kind of things. It could be automated through our Threat Watcher, where we're monitoring web feeds for weather services, lightning detection, those kind of things. Or it could be from Common Alerting Protocol, a standard CAP protocol. We've also got the mobile phone activation, web-based activation, and then that goes out through your network or wired or wireless options, depending on how we need to reach the different devices on your network, endpoints, those kind of things, to effectively notify people. And then finally, there are some of the like quick activation, like the panic button, those kind of things associated with both hardwired and panic buttons associated with desktops for a USB-based panic button as well. So there's also other ways to activate it beyond some of the more high-tech activations. So this gives you that full overview of the Alertus system, the capabilities we can bring to your organization to bring that notification together, activate all assets, and do it very effectively and efficiently. So to the focus of this webinar, our Alert Beacon is a flagship product of Alertus. It's patented. It's very unique to Alertus. It's a device that hangs on the wall. It flashes sounds, displays a message. It has 8 different sounding patterns, 8 different tones. Very efficient and effective at cost-effectively retrofitting your facilities. So in facilities that you don't have anything, that you need to add visual notification, that you really need to beef up your capabilities, the Alert Beacon does this very effectively, both wired and wireless. Most of our customers will deploy as a Power over Ethernet device, which means one wire can power and communicate with the device, as well as other wireless methods, either Wi-Fi or other proprietary-based paging type protocols, those kind of things for site-based wireless. So many different options for deploying the Alert Beacon. You know, it's really designed to serve campuses, military bases, large facilities that really lack that in-building notification. It's wall-mounted, as I mentioned, about 48 inches up. That those that are differently abled are able to read that as well. It'll flash sound, get your attention, and draw it in. We've had customers do different tests. One specifically would set it off. They knew that their building occupants had never seen an Alert Beacon before. They had a remote camera. They were able to watch that beacon. Whenever they set that off, it was a test message. They were able to watch people that were just milling around. It would get their attention and immediately draw them over to the Alert Beacon. So people that even hadn't seen them in the past were drawn to it, and it was very effective in delivering that message. You know, that flashing and sounding is really kind of universal. Whenever people hear that, they're drawn to it. The tone is upwards of 100 decibels. That is controllable, as you'll see in our demo, from anywhere from silent all the way up to that 100 decibel. So you're really able to customize that message and get people's attention in the right way. And then finally, it displays a custom message about the nature of the emergency and how to respond. So these are messages that you can either build as presets or on the fly to be displayed on the Alert Beacon. It is also the same message that goes out to all the other Alertus endpoints that we had discussed previously. So some key features of the Alertus Alert Beacon is reliable. It's very immediate response. It's not dependent on cell towers, other means outside of your organization. So we're using your network local to your facility, your campus, to be able to send that message out very quickly and effectively. It's very affordable. It's approximately 1/9 the cost of a conventional voice PA system, and has no recurring fees associated with the Alert Beacon itself. So it's very cost effective to retrofit facilities and then provide that visual notification as well. The Alertus system is very interoperable, unified activation with other mass notification systems, common alerting protocol, our API, those kind of things, would allow you to put the alert beacon downstream from systems that you're using today to notify people. So you're not creating an extra step potentially to provide that messaging right into your building. We're very interoperable so that we can provide that ease of use, ease of activation, depending on how you issue your emergency mass notification in your organization. It's integrated. It's designed to integrate with external devices, including LED marquees or panic buttons. It drives our text-to-speech. It has inputs, outputs for fire alarm interfaces, access control, those kind of things. So in addition to the alert beacon being an excellent audiovisual device, it is also providing you that gateway into the alert system for other solutions that aren't exactly network-based. So think of it as dual purpose, but main one being notifying. It's zonable as well. It can provide localized information where it's needed. So you can zone any device, any notification endpoint on our system, either down to an individual device, group them by either floor, building, portion of campus, you name it, location, that kind of thing. So you can really focus in on it. You could even go in and activate an individual alert beacon if you wanted to. So it's very, very customizable on how you're going to activate that. And I'll give you a demo of that and show you exactly how some of those detailed controls are available to you. So let's get to the device itself. The alert beacon is about 5 inches by 7 inches or so. Give you kind of a size idea, and you'll see some video and images during the demo. But it's just the right size. It's not too large for the wall. It's not too small. It provides the right viewing area, the appropriate level of flashing, sounding, those kind of things. So we've got the intensity strobes around it. Those come in both red and green. So you can do red for an emergency, green for an all clear. There's a sounder which has 8 tones. Those are customizable, as well as you can. There's some settings related to those tones that we can make them sound or change based upon the way we set things up. Large backlit LCD display, which displays the text of your emergency message. The mounting bracket allows you to do both a flush on drywall and then a surface on a cinder block type wall mount that allows you to do that a very clean install. And it also has security screws and mounts for those areas that require that as well. And then again, the alert beacon can be both wired, wireless, many different power options as well. The rear of the alert beacon, you'll see on the right, some of the highlights of some of those. If you've got a Wi-Fi connected or wireless connected beacon, we suggest adding the rechargeable batteries to provide 12 to 24 hours of backup so that you can still get that message to the beacon and it'll still function even in a power outage. There's ports like the Ethernet port for your PoE to power and communicate with the device. Serial ports allows you to expand and include LED marquees, text-to-speech, those kind of things. There's the ability to plug in both AC, DC power, on-off switch, and then you'll see number 7 there provides a variety of inputs and outputs to interface contact closures, those kind of things, for interfaces to access control, fire panels, those kind of things on a very basic level. So the alert beacon, as you'll see, serves as both a communication device and hub, as well as a very effective emergency mass notification device to retrofit your facilities. I'd also like to note, and we talked a little bit about codes previously, is that the National Fire Alarm Signaling Code, NFPA 72, actually included the Alertus Alert Beacon in their Chapter 24 of the handbook. And Chapter 24 is the chapter that's been added for emergency mass notification. This outlines the modes and methods in which you should deploy mass notification when you decide that you are going to deploy that as an organization. So if you haven't looked at that or familiarized yourself with it, it's definitely a good read to learn how the codes are really directing those. The Alertus Solution in general provides the greater intelligibility than a conventional public address system, and is practical for retrofitting older facilities and providing that wireless option as well. So the alert beacon really provides and adheres to all those capabilities that the codes are looking for in an alerting device such as ours. At this point, I'd like to jump out of our presentation and we'll go into a demo of the Alertus system. And for past demos, we've really focused on the panic button, which is a quick, easy way to activate it, activate the system, get that message out. But for this demo, I'm actually going to go ahead and log into the Alertus interface. We could set off a message from many different ways: the web interface, mobile, automated notifications, downstream from text or email services that you might have. But we're going to go ahead and activate this and log into our web interface. And as we see, it's very simple, very straightforward. We've got an emergency activation, a preset, which allows us to very quickly activate pre-planned scenarios, and our custom activation. I'm going to go ahead and activate a preset just to show you how quick and easy that is. You can build any number of these presets. We've got a good number of them in here. I'm going to go ahead and activate our bomb threat. We've had some additional text added here. We want to actually change that to say the we want to change this to gate. Let's concourse B. So we know exactly where that is. We can go ahead and hit continue. We've got the option to confirm that message. We can check all our settings, duration, those kind of things. And you'll see here that we also give you one last glimpse before sending that 3 alert beacons are online, your desktop, and cable TV override. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send. That'll send the message, and you'll see here that the devices will start taking over. We'll be taking over the VoIP phones, which is the tone you're hearing, and all other devices as well. The alert beacon, the LED marquee. So I'm going to go ahead and we've got the message here. I went ahead and canceled that message out, but that would then go and provide that. I want to go ahead and then every message we send, we certainly want to send it all clear. So we've got the option. Looks like a lot of our devices are still online. Let's go ahead and send that. This will provide the all clear, which you can tell is a different tone. The beacon will take over, and they will display the green versus the red. And you can tell there's a different tone there as well. I can go ahead and cancel that from the user interface. And then the last one, which I don't normally get in on a demo, but I want to dive into this detail for you, is our custom activation, because this really gives us the opportunity to show you exactly how you can control the alert beacon. And as you saw, we had a lot of these settings preset with our preset notification. But if you were to do a custom notification, go in and do some details, you're able to do that. Let's go ahead and let's do a severe weather. That looks good. You've got the ability to target based upon zone, as I mentioned, for all devices, but the alert beacon specifically. You've got a unit mode, so you can see specific alert beacons, say like the North Lobby alert beacon, South Conference Center, those kind of things. You could select individual ones, or you could use mapping interface. This actually looks like it's very, very well zoomed in on our building here, and you could activate portions of the building, or we could zoom out and see the general region, portion of the the country, those kind of things. But so the mapping interface is very useful as well. But let's jump back. I'm going to go ahead and activate all for this purpose. You can select a duration. I'll do 2 minutes just for this one. And then specifically, I'm going to go through and just activate the alert beacon. So the first settings you'll see in these custom settings are the alert beacon settings. You're able to do both an initial and a long-term duration. So initial would be the loud tone, the flashing, to get everybody's attention to alert them of an emergency. If you've got a duration of 10 or 20 minutes going for your alert, or an hour, you maybe don't want it going off at 100 decibels, really blaring the entire time. but you've got an option then to bring it back down to long-term settings, and reduce that, but still have it flashing and notifying. So let's do a few here. So let's say for the first 10 seconds, I want it to be at max duration. We've got 8 different tones. Let's go ahead and do let's see, which message do we choose? Severe weather, we definitely don't want to do the evacuate tone. So let's do say the announcement tone. The audible alert interval, you can change whether it just does the tone, it waits 5-10 seconds, does the tone. I want to go ahead and do it at 250 milliseconds. So it's going to be going very quickly, very rapid. So we've got a very important message we want to get through. You're also able to choose 8 different messaging, blink and glow, medleys, those kind of things. I want to go ahead and do a blink and glow to get people's attention. I want it to blink, again, every 250 milliseconds. So I want it to flash very quickly along with the sound. After the first 10 seconds, I want it to go ahead and go to, say, low. Let's stick with the same tone. And then let's stretch it out to maybe every 10 seconds. And then visual, let's just go to announce and glow. Let's put maybe every second have it blinking instead of having it blinking real rapid fire like that. You'll see other things we can select here, your LED marquees, text-to-speech, all those kind of things in detail, VoIP phones. But for this demo, I'm just going to select the alert beacons. Again, the devices we selected, 3 of them are online. You can pull up the details if you wanted. You can see all those details we set of the alert beacon. The alert beacon is selected. So confirm that. We'll go ahead and hit send. From here, you'll see the message will go active in the system, and then the severe weather alert will go out to the alert beacons and take the alert beacons over. So we've got the alert beacons flashing, and then after 10 seconds, those will go back down to, as you can see, the tone will be less predominant. It'll do the flash and blink, and it'll be a second between those. And then you'll hear the tone again. I think we set it at 10 seconds. So you can see the message there displaying, and then our settings really taking effect for the alert beacon based upon how we set it up in the system. Now, as you saw, it took a little bit of time to compose a custom message. We recommend that you create as many of your presets ahead of time as possible. And even further, there's a capability where you can build alert profiles, where you can create different alert profiles, which is how the beacons behave, which devices go off. You can create those ahead of time based on emergency. So you can see we've done like system silence, code reds. We've had customers that have ranked these from 1 to 5, 5 being the most immediate, and that'll set everything off all the way through to 1, which would be silent announcements. So you can really customize and build a lot of this out ahead of time, which we recommend for quick, easy activation. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that out. And from there, we'll go ahead and wrap up. We went into a little bit more detail for the demo here, but I think that gives you the ability to really understand how much control you have with the alert beacon and how effective that can be used and activated in your alerting plans and methodology. So at this point, I'm finished with the demo. I'm going to go ahead and log out and turn it back over to Jamie to wrap up the webinar and put the request out for questions.
Great. Thanks so much, Ryan. So we'd now like to open up the floor for any questions you all may have